If you were to ask me at age 21 when I got discharged from my mandatory military service in my country, I would have told you it was a complete waste of time. Instead of spending these 3 years in the military, I could have spent that time with my family, who at that point was going through a really rough patch, or even just do whatever 18 to 21-year-olds do in modern times. Get an early start on the job, save some money, travel the world. But today, after almost a decade has passed, I'm not so sure. In my last video, I talked a little bit about my experience in the military. I shared my point of view that life itself is not one big demanding structure, but consists of many structures that intertwine. And from my personal experience, I found it's my more responsibility to manage and grow within those systems. From an external point of view, it may seem there's a complete difference between the two worlds, the military and life. But as I dive in, I found an overlap in a wide range of areas. Social interactions, the ability to face difficulties, whether they are mental or physical, and learning while going through brutal inspection and criticism. As part of my research, I asked some of my closest friends what do they think about the time they spend in the military, and what are some of the life lessons they learned from that time. Their different perspective helped me confirm some of my initial thoughts about the topic and actually bring this video to life. The military has a unique way of breaking you down and rebuilding you up. Whether it's the mental and physical demands, the superiors who are charged of taking you through the process, each in his own special way, or the people you spend time with in the mud. This constant exposure to difficulties, struggle, different people and opinions form an endless circle of learning, which leads me to my first insight. Move or die. Doing things is hard. Washing the dishes, going out for a run, learning a new skill, not to mention navigating between career, life, work, etc. It's much easier to escape using modern devices. Binging on Netflix, endlessly scrolling through social media, playing video games, and basically losing a sense of time and reality while numbing the unavoidable pain of life. In recent years, I made it my mission to voluntarily expose myself to the things that scares me. And I'm not talking about doing something embarrassing in public or jumping off a cliff. While these can work for more specific kind of fears, I'm talking about more primal fears. Facing myself, trying to figure out what I want to do with my time on this planet, building my habits accordingly and voluntarily sacrificing everything else. Sometimes failing miserably and doing my best to learn from my mistakes and better adjust the path that I'm on. What this actually means is that I constantly set myself conditions for success, but at the same time conditions for failure. In real life, very different from education or any formal structures like in the military, it's our responsibility not to stay in the same place. If we're not moving forward, at least under one pillar of life, it means we're not aiming anywhere, wasting our time and our potential. Remember, stagnation breeds destruction. Always move forward. The most fulfilling period of time I spent in the military was when I had the honor of being a team leader in a unique basic training program. That program was a part of a big 18-month course for designated communication military officers. The personal and group conversation with my team, helping to guide this bunch of young individuals find their place in the system for better or worse, giving them advice when things are difficult and patting them on the back when they succeed despite the obstacles. This experience directly leads me to my second insight. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Let's say we adopted some responsibility. We picked a destination and now we're slowly moving forward. In the process, with time and effort, we accumulate experience, skill, and wisdom. Whether it's in the workplace, school, or any other system, there will come a time in our lives when we will be the one with the experience and seniority. I was lucky enough to be surrounded with good people in my military service, in my educational pursuits, and even today. No matter what is your current status within the system, make a deliberate effort to keep humility in mind. Learn from those above us and kindly help those who only recently we were in their shoes. This inevitably leads me to my third insight, and probably the most important one of them all. Don't be a slave. Undoubtedly, the most important life lesson I learned from my time in the military service is that our role within the system will always be aligned with the goals and conditions set by the system itself. The system has its own unique objectives that are always based on self-preservation. What does that mean for us individuals? In essence, we need to take care of ourselves. If you feel you are mistreated in the place you are now in, there are only two reasons. One, you are lazy, which means you haven't completely adopted the responsibility that you have taken upon yourself. Or second, you really are getting treated badly. Those two are a direct product of the same bad habit, our inability to say no to ourselves or to someone else. While we are navigating life, it's important to always make sure we sacrifice our time and energy only on the things we choose and not out of complacency. Although those insights weren't really clear to me while I was in the process, in retrospect, I now understand that the time I spent in the military service taught me many life lessons that helped me navigate through life in a more responsible and mature way. Looking back, I can't think of a better way to spend those 3 years. I met so many people, made long life friends, and accumulated experience that cannot be found anywhere else. And I can only hope that the personal experience I gained from that time can help you on your journey as well. Thank you for watching this video. Liking it will really help me grow my channel when facing the brutal algorithms of YouTube. Until next time, bye bye.